Doomfist, Ramatrra, Roadhog, Tracer, and Sojourn are all getting balance updates this week. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Okay, before we get stuck into those details, did you guys experience this yesterday? So this applying update just started appearing on a lot of people's games yesterday. This happened to me quite a few times and actually ended in me getting banned from competitive because I didn't actually join the game because it just started applying update and then threw me out of the game. But a couple of games before that, people would disconnect them on my team in the first 10 seconds of a match. Well, the first minute or so of a match. So the match was being cancelled, but they were never actually joining the game. It's because of this applying update bug. So, yes, we were thinking, okay, Overwatch is again buggy. There's another problem with Overwatch, and we don't know what's going on. Well then, look at this. Beautiful communication from the Overwatch team. So, we get this post, and it just says, earlier today, we applied a hotfix to address a Shambali collision exploit. This unexpectedly resulted in a small percentage of players getting stuck applying a hotfix, which then caused some disconnects. Our servers are now fully stable again. We apologize for those issues. And they also went on to say, also, given the unexpected issues with today's update, as we roll out future hotfixes, we plan to take precautions to avoid any potential unintentional penalties for players. Now, this is cool. This is them admitting there was a problem, it was broke, and we fixed it. But guess what? If you do get any future disconnects because of this problem, you won't get penalized, so you won't have the being banned out of competitive, which is what I faced. Then enter Aaron Keller. So obviously he's the game director of Overwatch 2, and he just throws this out there and says, the team is looking at potential changes to Sojourn, Doomfist, Ramatrra, Roadhog, and Tracer, with the planned balance changes coming later this week. Now, he gives us no date. He doesn't tell us what is being addressed with these heroes, but I think it's quite easy to sort of work out what's going to happen with Doomfist. Because if a scrub like me can absolutely dominate on that hero, yeah, they probably need to make some changes. So Doomfist's going to get nerfed, let's be real. Sojourn, she's also probably going to get nerfed because she still is incredibly powerful. A really interesting thing happened with Sojourn. Basically, Mercy's power level started to go through the roof because players very quickly realized if you just damage boost Sojourn, she's just the same Sojourn and she's still really good. So let's just damage boost Sojourn. So you started seeing a lot of that. Again, only at the higher echelons of the ladder. But, you know, Sojourn is still a really powerful hero. Ramattra, this is an interesting one. I hope we see buffs to Ravenous Vortex for Ramattra. I really, really do. I think you could maybe leave the rest of his kit at the moment, but make some changes to Ravenous Vortex. Could be really interesting. They might do something to block as well, because block is kind of really underwhelming to use at the moment. I think his barrier probably will stay as is, and his primary fire probably will remain the same, I'd imagine. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to watch out for Ramattra. Roadhog, though, oh Lord above, Roadhog is absolutely filthy in this game because he breaks the game. He is a tank with a one-shot ability that is extremely easy to land. There's probably Roadhog footage in the back of this video. In fact, I know there is because I'm going to put it in now. Or, well, throughout the video, at least you've been watching it. It's disgusting. I can walk around on a hero that I just don't play and kill everybody. And I'm like, what is this? It's absolutely obscene. So Roadhog needs more than nerfs. Roadhog needs, I think, to just be changed completely because he just wreck the game in a lot of ways. But what could they do to Roadhog? Well, given Blizzard's recent balance philosophy, if they take something from a hero, they like to give something back. This might just be a bit of a placebo effect. So players think, oh, well, they've nerfed my X ability, but they gave me my Y ability a bit stronger. Could be that, or it could just be the way that they want to balance the game going forward. But I would imagine we're going to see some sort of a change to Hook. Maybe the cooldown on Hook, maybe the range of Hook, maybe how easy it is to land Hook. Probably going to change. Or is Vape. They could change that because it is a bit crazy that you can pop that and move because you can go on crazy flanks, take a ton of damage, and then just run away while you're huffing and puffing and getting all your health back. I think Roadhog should be stationary when he uses that, you know, and it would make him a lot harder to use and probably a bit more enjoyable as well. But yeah, Roadhog has got to be a nerf. Tracer, this is also got to be a nerf because she is wrecking everyone at the moment. So all they did was increase her damage from 5 to 6 per pellet. And obviously she fires a lot when she fires, and she fires extremely fast. So she is wrecking people in the back line. So there's probably going to be some sort of a nerf to her damage there as well, which is going to be interesting. And of course, these are all planned for later on this week. As soon as we get the details, I'll update you guys and we'll go over what the details are. But yeah, good news that we are being told this in advance, and it's not something that's going to take an age to actually change. Now, there is something else I want to talk about here. This is John Spector. Now, he actually gives us insight into what these changes could be, because he essentially goes on to say the new hotfix system they've got allows them to make statistical changes almost, so they can change numerical values. So if X ability does 100 damage, they could make it do 90 and update everybody, and that's fine. Other changes where they're making wholesale changes to abilities, and maybe there's new models involved, new visual effects, that requires a full game update, and that takes a long time to do because it has to go through console certification, and also it just takes longer to do that. Changing a few numbers in a spreadsheet doesn't take that long to do, does it? So let's look at what he says. But before we do that, actually, I have baited you a little bit there, guys. Look at this. So this is the executive producer of Overwatch 2, brand new on the job. Even he is out there talking about this. So he says, more context on today's Shambali map hotfix from John Spector. Apologies to all of the players who experienced disconnects and received temporary leaver penalties as it rolled out. We're updating the runbook for hotfixes like these to make them more seamless in the future. So again, we've got the game director, we've got the executive producer, and we've got the vice president of Overwatch, all being very public and explaining what has just gone on with the game. This is great. This is absolutely great. I love it. It's awesome. So this is what John Spector says. Hi everyone. With this hotfix now live, we also wanted to provide some more clarity into our patching approach and timelines as the team deploys various fixes and prepares another round of balance changes too. Most game changes and new content additions will require a full patch on all platforms, which we can only do with several weeks lead time given Q&A needs and submission to all platforms where we operate. But we also do have a hotfix tool, or hotfixing tool, which allows us to make small changes to a few specific parts of the game as soon as we have tested them. This includes things like numbers, adjustments for hero balance, and minor collision updates to fix issues with maps as examples. We just used a hotfix earlier today to address a collision issue on Shambali, and the team is also planning to use that system to make some quick hero balance changes later this week based on the early read of Season 2 hero performance. Due to some bugs with the hotfix system at launch, we were not able to use those tools in Season 1. We therefore took longer to make balance changes and address a few small bugs than we wanted, so we're excited to have this functionality working again. So why does any of this matter to us really? Well, it matters because they're explaining to us, the player base, in actually quite a bit of detail here what has gone on. And this is good, right? This is fine. It's a nice level of openness that I think a lot of players would enjoy. I definitely enjoy seeing this because it does give you renewed faith in the game. Instead of what would have been a night of me playing Overwatch, which suddenly was cut short because of these bugs, and me thinking, oh, here we go, the game's a mess, it's broke again. And then what? Suddenly it's fixed and there's no comment? No, they actually have come out and made a comment. This is good. And like I've always said, guys, some people seem to think that I'm some sort of Overwatch hater. I am not an Overwatch hater, but I'm trying to be realistic about the game and the state the game's in and all of that stuff. This still is the best game that I have ever played. I'm obviously going to say that. And guess what? I've made thousands of videos on it and all of that stuff. You guys know this. But we do have to give them credit when they do good stuff, which they're doing now. Anyway, yeah, I'm waiting for the update to see what we get for these hero changes. And I do believe Winter Wonderland is just around the corner as well. So we should be getting some decent stuff this week for Overwatch 2. So yeah, all right, guys, thank you for listening and watching the video. I've been Stylos here if you enjoyed it. And do let me know in the comments below what you think. And I'll catch you lovely, jubbly lot on the next one. See you soon.